my memories of Dartmouth football, and Kurt was a part of it. He was one of the older guys. He was kind of one of the stars of the team, captain, and so forth. There was just always a toughness associated, and we didn't have some of the fancy things that Princeton might have, or Harvard or Yale, but there was just a kind of there's a Dartmouth spirit. You heard about it, and okay, what was that? And to me, it was kind of embodied by the tough guys. Who's that center from Seattle?
Jim Lucas.
Yeah, Jim Lucas, man. He broken hand, sprained ankle. He just go out and play. And there was really a pride in being a tough guy. Now, we've had to kind of modify that a little bit because of the injuries, awareness, and so forth, concussive issues and all that. But still, the idea of, hey, we're from the woods. And that's become something that's creeped in. The granite of New Hampshire, muscles and brains. We've kind of said, hey, where are we? From a recruiting standpoint, what's the negative? Well, you're in the middle of no place. Let's spin that into something that's a positive. Yeah, man, we're in the middle of no place. The frost deal, the woods are lovely, dark, and deep. It's kind of ominous, and kind of preaching that with our guys. So there's a toughness that, hey, Princeton gets on their bus, man. They get their Gucci loafers and the scarves on and so forth. Coming up 91, it just gets, hey, where are we going? And so it kind of played to the mindset of tough physical play. And that was the onset. We weren't real good when we first came back here. And I think the importance of Dartmouth football somehow kind of drifted. And it was almost we're mediocre and that's okay. And trying to change a mindset where, hey, it's real important. You guys are athletes. You put a lot of time and effort into it. For what? And are you just playing for yourself? And it's about me? No, you're playing for all the guys that wore the uniform before. In your cases, the different sports that you guys play. And does that resonate with people? I think you have individual goals and you have team goals. And there's, if you look out here, we've got the All Ivies players' individual goals, and then the team deal. And those are the two. Hey, how good can you be? Because the better you are, the better we're going to be. And then what are you willing to sacrifice for the good of the team? And so we talk about toughness in practice and physicality and kind of playing through stuff. You have bumps and owies. Okay, I get that. You can play with those. You have injuries. You're crutched up. You're surgically repaired. Okay, but you still have that mindset that, man, I'm committed to what I'm doing. And I think it's passed from class to class. And, when I first came back, we were graduating 6, 7, 9 guys. The attrition rate was just horrendous. And why did they not pull out? I lost the love of the sport. My heart's not in. I heard all that stuff. And I just flipped it back and say, guys weren't tough enough to see things through. And the guys that are here, I don't care if you win, lose it, how tough are you in your mindset? It's a Dartmouth mindset. We're tough guys up in the woods. That's we're going to go and compete. And that seemed to kind of take hold over time. Pride in who you were. We'd sing the alma mater, win or lose. It didn't make a difference. And nobody used to stay in the stands. And some of the guys, I think, were a little bit embarrassed by it. But hey, loud and proud, this is who we represent, which resonated. That was a big thing when we were in school.
Yeah, singing when we were in school was always a big thing. And we had just gotten here just after women had started coming to Dartmouth, so there was still not a large number of women on campus. So there was a lot of singing in fraternities and singing, in the football program. And so, one of the things Coach T did was bring that back when he came back in terms of singing the alma mater. And another thing that was a tradition when we played was, which is sort of back in a different kind of format, was when we came out of the locker room, the entire freshman class would line up in a gauntlet coming out of the old Davis varsity house, and U.S. football players would run through the gauntlet all the way to the field, all the way to the sideline. So it was a really awesome tradition for us. And then that was gone when Coach Stevens came back. And, there's a little bit of that now when we come out of Leverone, where we have the gauntlet coming out. But that gauntlet was really neat back then because you were literally walking between, just people were really tight to you, and there was like 2 or 3, people deep, and you'd come through and you got chills up your spine when you were coming out of the locker room. It